How's it going? What's your name? I'm Joe. Nice to fucking meet you. Or see you again, whichever the case may be. I hope everyone has a sick Christmas. Genuinely, not just being a nice guy, although I am a nice guy as well. Hope you all got nice and pleasantly fat. Just like a pleasant chubbiness, not like diabetes or heart disease fat, obviously. It's formality 1 done. Formality number 2 is I'm going to direct you to a link in the description of this video, which will take you to a Legend London video that Nabil put together off the back of our video / photo shoot in London about a month ago. So Nabil put this video together. It's pretty sick. I thought I would give it some credit and direct some people there. So check it out. Drop it a like. Leave a pleasant comment. Leave a comment. Say what a hero Joey D is. Alright. Let's talk about the topic of the day, which is New Year's resolutions. New year, new me. New sick guy, mate. Sick guy version, whatever the version is, man. However many times you've attempted the feat of becoming a sicker guy. It got me thinking this time of year. I think it gets everyone thinking, because it's actually weird how much it's just the calendar, man. But it causes this mass shift in mentality. All of a sudden everyone is a little bit more grateful for the year that they've had, and a little bit more motivated for whatever lies ahead. I suppose I'm probably no different, and I'm kind of glad it works like that, because you need something. I kind of wish that years were shorter, so that even more often you had this refreshing burst of let's go fucking do some shit, man. So, you know, I'm looking back, I suppose everyone is looking back on 2017 and thinking that was a sick year, or that was a shit year, or somewhere in between. And you know, genuinely I sincerely hope it was a sick year for you. But regardless of whether it was great or whether it was wank, I think we should still try and make 2018 better. That's just basic, innit? That's just a basic requirement, man. Attempt to make the next year better than last, you know, which can be hard, because if you had a sick year, you know, you're looking at the next one and you're thinking, I'm going to top this, man. I'm going to have to pull some shit out the bag. I'm going to have to do some weird shit, or, you know, get creative. But that's the challenge of life, isn't it? And what a challenge to have, you know. It's a great problem to, you know, think about how you're going to beat the last year of your life. So let's talk about that kind of stuff. I think I've got generally 3 or 4, I haven't counted, we'll see when I talk about them, like overarching goals. I don't really like the term goals, because I think sometimes it's like a bit too like objectives, targets, and it like just reduces fucking life to monotonous fucking methodical processes, man. Takes the passion out of shit. Anyway, I'm digressing. Sometimes it's fine, I'm probably looking into it too deeply. Goals, I think number 1, generally just try and be a sicker guy, man, innit? I think that should be just one of everyone's resolutions. Try and be a sicker guy, mate. Even if you're a girl, you can still be a sick guy, you know. And obviously everyone's definition of what constitutes a sick guy is not necessarily, definitely not going to be the same, because people value different shit, don't they? If we all put together a list of the world's top 100 sickest motherfuckers, then Dan Bilzerian would probably be at the top of some people's lists, and the Dalai Lama would probably be at the top of other people's lists. But these are very different guys with very different characteristics, and you know, these don't go to the same parties, although it would be sick if they did. I would go to that party. So I suppose the take home is be your own sick guy, man, because you can only try and embody values that you value, you know, and that's the kind of, that's what's gonna fulfill you, man. If you're a guy who thinks that he is a sick guy, right? I'm using this term a lot, this sick guy term. I think it's sick. Sometimes people get like tired of using the same phrase, but I think at least it puts a accessible, general, like less cliched term on the idea of improvement and just being a good lad overall. The idea of, you know, self-improvement without all the self-improvement cliched boring shit, man, because I kind of distance myself from that whole, you know, sphere a little bit, because I just think it's kind of boring, and like a lot of the shit is like just no context and doesn't mean much. And so anyway, overarching goal number 1 is just be a sicker guy. What's overarching goal number 2? I haven't thought. I should write these down, man. I should have notes. Probably have a better influence, man. Have a more positive or greater positive influence on those around you, so on whoever you can influence. Now, for me, it's funny because as soon as you've got a following, some people kind of say, right, now you've got a responsibility to be a good influence. It's weird, I don't really view it like that. I don't think that I am influencing people who watch my videos, because that makes me seem like I think I'm sensei, man. I don't think I'm the teacher, man. I think I'm just a guy going through life, and I think we're all going through and learning at different paces. And if I have a single shred of wisdom inside my brain, obviously it would be great. I would like to share that with everyone, and likewise I would like to learn shit from other people, maybe from you. Leave me a nice comment, tell me about life. But I suppose I don't see myself as like that kind of thing. It doesn't necessarily have to be you people that I influence, and if you don't have a YouTube channel, it doesn't mean you can't influence people, because the people you influence most are the people that you interact with most on a daily basis, and like, you know, your peer group, your family, your boyfriend or girlfriend, you know, your cat. Teach your cat to be a sick guy. Alright, so I think that's good. That's a good one as well. So we've got be a sicker guy, have a better influence. What's the next one? Have a sicker time, you know, have a better time, have more fun. That's hard, right? Because this is the thing. Sometimes, and this is one of the things that I have to personally work out. You can focus on improving yourself or being a positive influence to others. Sometimes that's not necessarily the most fun thing you can do, and sometimes it's fulfilling long term. But short term fun is sometimes gets in the way of that. Sometimes I feel like I get distracted by having a good time, and sometimes I feel like I could probably start a business doing this. I just want to go over here and have a sick time, just like party and go on holiday and stuff and fuck about with my mates. And there is sometimes conflict between having a sick time and, you know, all the other more admirable goals and stuff. And so that's something we have to work out, something I have to work out anyway. Maybe you've got the answer. Let me fucking know if you do. What's the next one? How many have we got so far? We've got 3. Let's do another. I think the 4th one is just stay interested, man. Stay interested in life, because a lot of people fucking die a death of boredom before they die a physical death, mate. And you can see it in their eyes, man. You can see people walking around glazed over. And I'm like, you need to wake the fuck up, mate. You need to get some passion back in your life. You need to start pursuing the things that make you feel something, man. Because it's really easy to feel nothing. It's harder to feel something than it is to feel nothing, man. But that is the consequence of not prioritising the things that, I suppose it goes back to the last point of having a sick time, not prioritising the things that you enjoy and the things that make you feel good, man. You know, and it's all interlinked, because you need to be having a good time, or, you know, you need to be interested and enthusiastic and passionate about life, you know, to be a sick guy or to have a good influence. You know, I think it's like The Rock says, Dwayne Johnson, he says, always be the hardest worker in the room. Yeah, but I think you have to be in the room first, man. You have to be, and to do that, you have to be somebody that people want in the room, you know. You have to be a good presence, mate. You have to light that fucking room up with your fucking passion, man. Alright, I think that's 4 overarching objectives for the next year. Tell me how you think they sound. I think they sound great. And the thing is, obviously it shouldn't just be like for the next year. It should just be like at all times. But the trouble is, sometimes you need reminders, man, because, right, listen, imagine if you could choose the thoughts and feelings to keep at the forefront of your mind at all times, like at the ready, to call upon. So, example, right, sometimes I'm sure we all go through these moments, let's say moments of, I want to say higher consciousness, without feeling like without being like a bit of a Zen, cliched, spiritual motherfucker. Awareness, heightened awareness, you know, a clearer view on life and how to live it. Sometimes that will happen first thing in the morning while you're drinking a coffee. Sometimes it'll be last thing at night when you're in bed and thinking about shit. And sometimes it may have just been for 4 seconds back in 2012. But we'll have these moments where there are thoughts that go through our head, thoughts or feelings. Like, for example, you'll have moments of extreme kind of gratitude and perspective, right? Times when you'll be just very thankful for everything. And also, I think gratitude and perspective are quite interlinked, because you can't have one without the other, man. You can't be thankful for stuff without knowing the general significance and the general, what are the chances, man? What are the chances that I'm gonna be here? Like, what are the chances that I was born, right, with genetics to have fucking sick, silky, golden locks, man? You know, what are the chances that I could be here, stood in my bedroom and making a video? This is my bedroom, by the way. Talking to people on the internet. It's that's the kind of perspective, man. You know, the unlikelihood that you are such a fortunate motherfucker. And that has to be related to gratitude. Anyway, this is one of the thoughts that sometimes, you know, and you wish you could never forget that, but you can't always walk around. You can't always walk around with that, with extreme gratitude, because you'd be eating a bagel in the morning, you'd be like, oh my god, this is the best bagel ever, and you never get no shit done. So anyway, it would be handy to be able to call upon that at times. There are other things as well. There are all these feelings, they're all fleeting kind of emotions that you sometimes kind of, another one, for example, would be, as well as gratitude, there's like a sense of freedom. You know, this is another kind of feeling that sometimes you will feel more freer than you do at other times. More freer, you know what I mean? So, for example, all these kind of, there's a load of like weird societal norms, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist, I'm not saying it's here to fucking control us or any mad shit like that, but there are just behaviours and things that we all engage in that are normal. And for example, the kind of clothes you wear, the kind of music you're into, like let's say you're into lifting, you're also not expected to be into flamenco dancing. I mean, does that mean that you can't do it? No, not necessarily. Well, definitely not. All this kind of stuff. Like sometimes you be in a shop and you'll put a t-shirt on and you'll think, I actually like this t-shirt, but do I look like a dickhead? Like, what is that thought? What do you mean, do you look like a dickhead? Everyone looks like a dickhead. Like, you know, compared to what? What is the standard? What's the... Anyway, this sense of freedom is another thing that can pop up into your head, and sometimes you wish, sometimes I think, imagine if you could carry this sense of freedom, how would it affect your decisions if you could always draw on this sense of freedom that you feel now in this moment? Another one is like urgency, so the idea that you're gonna fucking die, man, and then you can't do anything. Once you're dead, it's difficult to get shit done, mate. You're in a box in the ground, or you're just ash blowing in the motherfucking wind, mate. And the idea that time is finite, because it's hard in your life to actually, you know, keep that. But imagine, sometimes I think, right, the gratitude, the freedom, and the urgency. Imagine if you could keep these things. Sometimes I want to tattoo this shit on my fucking hand so that it's there. Imagine if you could keep these things in your fucking mind, like, at all times. Like, it would obviously, I assume you'd live a fucking weird life, but in a lot of ways it would be better, man. Like, how much would it affect your decision making day to day? It would be wild, mate. But I think all you can do is either get it tattooed on you or do things that remind you, man. Sometimes I wake up and I write shit across this window. It's cheesy, man. Sometimes it might seem cheesy, like I write shit on the window, but it fucking reminds me, you know, it reminds me to try and be a fucking nice guy, try and enjoy myself, try and do things that make me feel fucking alive, try and improve others' lives, mate, you know. And I think if we're going to be sick of guys, if we're going to have a better time, if we're going to have a better influence, if we're going to stay interested, these are the things that you need to keep at the ready, man. These thoughts, the urgency, the gratitude, the perspective, you know, and the freedom. I hope some of that made sense. I was just talking, man. I don't know, maybe it didn't, whatever. Right, what else? Should I talk about specific goals? Because the thing is, it's easy for me to stand here as well. I don't want to, like, it's easy for me to stand here and lay down all these like resolution type things that are not measurable. Like, it's not measurable, is it? Like, so what? I can just get to the end of next year and go, I'm a sicker guy, man. I had a better time. You know, how do you measure that? You don't. And when it's not quantitatively measurable, it means that you're not accountable to it whatsoever. Accountable. I love the buzzwords, me. I'm throwing out all the fucking, maybe I'm Gary V. Shit, am I Gary V? Throwing out all the buzzwords today. Anyway, that's the trouble with all these goals. Although they're all thought of with good intentions, you've got no responsibility to actually enact them, because it's not really, who says, man? Who decides? So it's probably a good idea to also have some like measurable ones, man, which is against my inner nature, because I've got this person on my shoulder saying fuck it, go and have fun. You know, but fun isn't the only kind of happiness, mate. It's just one. It's a great one, but it's just one. So let's talk about measurable goals. I don't know what measurable goals I should have, man. Let me think. Maybe I should grow this YouTube channel. Should I? I think I should, because I like it, man. This is one of the things that I enjoy. So why don't I do that? Now, what's realistic for me? If I've got 58 and a half, I'm not counting, 1,000 subscribers right now, let's say like 100k is probably achievable by the end of next year, right? But then let's say 100k, maybe 150k is achievable. Now, any number is achievable, but the challenge for me at least will be to achieve it whilst remaining or becoming more of the real Joey motherfucking D, man. You know, it's probably easy to grow your channel if you're just gonna do what you need to do to grow a channel, but it's probably hard to do it if you're gonna still just be 100% the guy you wanna fucking be, man. And that's the difficulty. That's gonna be the challenge, but I'm gonna fucking do it, mate. Because why the fuck not? And the number is arbitrary, right? It doesn't matter. Let's say, alright, I'm gonna say 150,000, right? I'm gonna have 150,000 subscribers by the end of next year. But the number's arbitrary, man. The number doesn't matter. Is life gonna change at 100? Is it gonna change at 150? No. Why does it need to? I'm happy now, man. This is sound, right? I like me days, man. But setting one is just a way to keep it interesting, man. It's just a game. It's just a way to stay, you know, just to see. Because curiosity, man. Because curiosity, can you do it? Let's see. I don't know. I'm gonna wrap the video up because I feel like I'm rambling. I don't know what I'm gonna title it. I'm gonna call it something fucking fantastic. Something fantastical. Everyone have a fucking sick new year, man. See you later.
Delaney is my hero!